All right. All right. Assalamu alaikum. This is Brother LeVon X and Brother LeVon X Community Reporting. We have a beautiful, beautiful show today. We got some of our distinguished sisters from the Nation of Islam who are doing it big, doing great contact with their music. And I had to go through my peoples to get to them, but we finally got them here. So, without further ado, for the sake of time, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, all praises due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. We bear witness there's no God but Allah and Muhammad's messenger. I'd like to greet my beloved sisters with the words of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
It's a privilege and an honor to have the mighty MGT on this platform, and definitely we pray to Allah that any content shared that we can reach someone and raise spirits and change lives, and that's the post that we're on. So, without further ado, Sister Hecava, you want to give the people introduction of who you are, dear sister?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I am Sister Hecava Mecca. That's my artist name, but my real name is just Mecca. I'm out of Akron, Ohio, from study group number 37. And I have been doing music for about 10 years now. I am a singer and I am a rapper. I'm actually a singer turned rapper. So yeah. Um I got some music that's coming out this year. I dropped my first album in 2020, Young God, and inshallah this year the baby that I'm working on will be dropping in July. It's called The Black Box. And I'm really excited for what it's
For a damn dollar from your enemy. We're not gonna allow that to happen anymore. We'll snatch your behind off the stage and whip your ass.
Listen, I ain't straddling the fence, man, I'm on guard. So step correct when you step to this young God. I give my life for this here, and that's on God. Cause I ain't scared of no one but Allah God. See, they be claiming that they real, but they all fraud. Cause they don't understand that money cannot buy heart. A cowardly lion, you squeak when you roar, you niggas. Remind me of courage, the cowardly dogs. This is
a lie. And I want everybody to know that I did get a sister's CD when I was in Savior's Day. Beautiful content. I'm definitely going to put both the sisters' content on there and where you can find their music. But we want to get Sister Akilah. We want to give an introduction of who you are, beloved.
Yes, sir. I am Sister Akilah Nehanda. A lot of people don't know Nehanda is my middle name. It's not my last name, but that is my artist name. And I have been doing music for about 10 years. And I produced my first EP in 2000, I want to say 2012. And it was called Paradigm. It is called Paradigm. It's still on all streaming platforms. And just working on doing hip hop, R&B. I sing and rap as well, and it's all about getting the message to the people, so that we can change this reality into what we want to see. Right. So
That's right.
that's
That's
that.
right.
Everything about him is original, from his voice to his hair to his skin. Oh yeah, his mind is deep, his talk is not cheap, and I love the fact that he's my best friend. He's what I call a well-made man. You know I'm a guy, when he fall, he get back up, stand tall. That's a well-made man. He make no excuses, he just do it till it's done like a boss. Well-made man. You know I'm a guy, when he fall, he get back up, stand tall. That's a well-made man. Oh yeah, he a soldier, thought I told ya, he the truth, nothing false. Diamond is a girl's best friend. Well, I'm gonna need them to be specific.
Praise be to Allah. So let's get into it, sisters. Um, with your content, what inspires you as far as when you put music down and you think of the lyrics and you compare them to today? So I might be a little older than both of you, but as I was sharing with our beloved sister, lyrics matter. So when you put content together, what inspires you and what motivates you, regardless of what you hear today, to make sure that you're lyrically proficient and with your message? We start with you, Sister Omega.
Um, well, first and foremost, it's because at the end of the day, my duty is to keep my duty to Allah. And the music that I make is more than just music, it's part of my salvation as well. And so that's really what inspires me to keep doing it the way that I do it, is because I want to be pleasing to Allah. If I don't please nobody else, if I'm pleasing to Allah, then that's the most important thing. That's really the main thing that keeps me going on the conscious. I mean, also because there's nothing in the music that is out today. I mean, there's no type of life. There's no substance. It's almost like the type of food that we eat, right? It
Mhm.
looks like food, it tastes like food, but there's no substance. There's nothing there that actually is giving you life. There's no nutrition. There's nothing that can help you for longevity. You know what I'm saying? Um, so just to be pleasing to Allah and to really just do what I'm supposed to do and fulfill my purpose in life.
Praise be to Allah. I would have said, Sister Akila, and I want to add something too, because she mentioned something um, very interesting, that she had put Allah first. And when you put God first, it kind of puts you in some checks and balances there, because it's uncomfortable. The self-accusing spirit will resonate when you're putting things in it that's unrighteous, because we're supposed to think upright. So the same question goes to you. When you write your content, what comes to mind? What inspires you to actually make sure that you are staying on a straight path when you are striving to be um, relative in the society we're in now?
Well, like you said earlier, lyrics matter, and the approach that Sister Hecava has to it is also my same approach when it comes to wanting to please Allah and making sure that I'm feeding His people the right substance, because the people are His people, and whenever He trusts us with His people, we have to be found doing what it is that we're supposed to do, which is inspiring and bringing them closer to Him in whichever way that we can, which is with our gifts and talents. And he gave me the gift of being able to listen to the thoughts, not literally, but basically feel the society and how the society is moving, and then utilize that to filter what it is that I'm going to say in order to push them into a direction that is, I guess you could say, on a straighter path. And because He gave me that gift, and then He gave me the gift of being able to sing, He gave me the gift of rhythm. I have to now utilize that gift to put it in my music, and I have to make sure that Minister Farrakhan is not taking, all the burden, and we have to, and I have to start making sure that I'm helping in any way. And so lyrics matter. Minister Farrakhan said words matter. And so when I was in a meeting with Minister Farrakhan a few years back, he made sure that he drilled it into our heads, because it was a lot of different artists in the Nation of Islam who we met with him at his house in the palace. And he drilled it in our heads that words matter and that the beat is good. However, he said the lyrics are more important. And when that really resonated with me is when I started listening to the beats that Tupac had. The beats weren't all that. And it reminded me what he said, that it it's the lyrics and it's the energy that you really put into it. The beat does matter, definitely. However, your words, the lyrics, and your energy matters even more. So that's how I approach my music.
Yes, man. Praise be to Allah. Well, what's interesting, that back in, and I'm aging myself, back in 79 and 80, when hip hop actually was coming about, of course, it was about the DJ, and the MC would introduce the DJ and get the crowd motivated. I remember those in those park jams. but the beats wasn't as sophisticated as it was today. But in
Mm-hmm.
order for the MC to want to stay on the mic, his lyrics and what he had to say did carry weight.
Mm.
So I think about the message when Melly Mel and the Furious Five came out. Even to this day, the music, the lyrics still resonates to what's going on present time. So when you are creating music, and this is the question I have for both of you, and let's say we have a young lady or sisters in general feeling like I want to make it to the industry, but I see what makes it, where it goes platinum, where it makes millions, what gives you the fame. And of course, we know Shaitan makes evil feels fair seeming. But what would you advise a young lady watching this program that wants to be in the industry, has some good material, but she feels that she may have to sell her soul to be able to be in the industry? Hecava?
I would tell her to continue on the path that she's on, because this industry that is the mainstream is going down. There is the foundation has become weak, and it's being destroyed and dismantled as we speak. And so to try to fit in with something that's going down, you're going to go down with it. So to continue on the path that you're on, and to have the strength to continue to continue on the path that you're on, because you will be successful. Allah says that He does not waste the work of any worker,
Mm.
and if you help Him, then He will help you. And be that trendsetter, be that person that creates music or whatever it is that you're going to do. Be that person that makes the trend. Don't follow the trend, because the originator of the trend is the one that's successful. People take the trend and they flip it and do this and that, but it's the original thought that creates the trend. And so if you want to be successful, just be you and do you. And Allah is going to make you successful, as long as it is Him that you put first, as long as it is Him that you're trying to please, because Allah already promised us the victory.
Praise be to Allah. And just for clarity, I want everybody to know Allah, God, Jehovah, whoever your God is, we're talking to everyone and we're striving to make all righteous people come up. So I don't want anybody thinking this is just a nation program, but we're here to build and grow with all. So, Sister Akilah, same question with you, beloved.
Man, she answered that so perfectly. It's not much for me to add to that, because that is exactly, what that's exactly what I would have to say. You're in a this world is truly up, this world, and we are striving to be builders of a new one. So, and I would also say this, even though, and it's hard to explain this to someone because the facade is so strong of how happy these women are in the industry and how fun everything looks. And so if I were to say they are not truly exemplifying success in the way that God would see success,
Right.
and that they are not truly happy, it would be hard to convince you of that, because they are trying to push this, oh, this is so fun, this is great, but if you understand the laws of how this universe is set up, you cannot be mentally at peace when you are going against what it is that God has established for His universe, which is righteousness, order, um, uh, peace. And if you listen to the music and the things that they're promoting over sexualization, they're promoting violence, they're promoting um unrighteousness, addictions, so although it might appear that they are happy, I would say, well, try that route and see if you are truly content and happy with the results. And I guarantee you, you will not be, and you will not have a peace of mind. And so when you find that out, go back to being yourself and do it in the way that like Sister Hecava said, starts the trend that needs to be started, which is, on the right path, and doing music with substance. And yeah, it still has a good beat. It still is going, it's still flowing, but it's actually feeding the minds of the people. And it doesn't have to be corny. It's
Right.
going to be, fun, and good. And you just be yourself.
So you said something very interesting, and I know even from the brother's perspective, but I definitely want to get it from a sister's perspective. When one is not happy with self, self-destruction behavior becomes norm, or you try to normalize it. So
Hmm.
when you speak about that, do you feel that because of the pressures or the upbringing of not loving thyself has a lot to do with willing to go with the flow in a toxic environment?
Absolutely. If you don't know yourself, anybody can use you and tell you what you're supposed to be. Because the Black woman of America, we're taught that once the Black man and woman of America gets straight and gets right, the whole world will start falling into order. And that's because we're the mothers, and fathers of civilization. So if your enemy is telling you that you're opposite of that, and they've been drilling that into our heads through media, through music, through television shows, through everything, commercials, through baby dolls, through everything, right? The average Black woman might not have the highest of self-esteem. The average Black woman in America might wish that they were lighter skin, or wish that they were something else. And that's because of how our enemy orchestrated this thing. And of course, through slavery and beating into us that we have no value. So when you have that as a foundation, it's going to be easy to make you a sexual being. It's going to be easy to say, oh, it's cool to call yourself the B word. It's cool to, say you're going to kill your brother. It's cool, but because you don't have a true concept of your value and your worth. And so, yeah, that plays a huge part. Knowing yourself, loving yourself, because someone who loves themselves, they would never, ever promote themselves as a B word. Someone who loves themselves, and someone might say, nah, that's not true, because I love myself and I can call myself the B word. Well, I mean, we have to really unpack that. You know what I mean? And same with Black men. You wouldn't talk about shooting your brother if you really loved yourself, because you would want to treat your brother the way you would want to be treated. So it all ties into it.
Okay, Sister Hecava.
Can you ask the
Well,
question?
I switched it up a little bit because she said some key things about loving thyself, and one of the things that I brought up and I asked the sister was, when one has a self destruction spirit, and when you don't care, it's easy for people to use you and manipulate you to do things that you wouldn't do in your right mind, or if somebody love themselves enough to respect themselves. But do you believe that this is the case where people can mold someone to have a sister be half naked on the stage, shake her behind, gyrate, be sexual, and yet try to justify it at the end of the day to this is what makes money? Because sometimes we justify our madness by how much money we can make. What do you think?
I think what Sister Akilah said was perfect and right on. Um, you can't love yourself and devalue yourself at the same time. You can't. If you see your worth, you wouldn't devalue yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it's also just due to the programming. We have been reduced to such a level that we live on a subconscious level. We're not conscious of our actions. We live in a primitive state, meaning that everything that we do is based upon a desire. It's not based upon a conscious thought. It's based upon what the flesh wants. The consciousness is like the guide, right? It's like the navigation. And we have been reduced so low that we can't even think on that level, or even do or live on that level. Everything is about what we want right now. We need the money, right? And it's also just looking at these people as if though they're God. And so we've been conditioned to believe that they're God. This is their world. They are the God of this world. And so yeah, we've been conditioned to believe that this is the way we're supposed to live. The devil makes evil fair seeming. And the only way the devil can make evil fair seeming is for the devil to have a grip on the minds of the people instead of God. So it's a lack of self-love. It's also a lack of self-knowledge. Because if you know who you are and you know your lineage, you know who you belong to, there's no way that somebody could come to you and do or say anything to you that will make you go against who you actually and really are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Sister Kim, she hit it right on the head.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and maybe this can help those have a better understanding as well as far as our nation is concerned. And since I got you, Sister Akilah, how has the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, through how we see our women as a god, and how when you raise a black woman or woman in general, you're saying you better civilization. So how has the teachings helped you benefit you as a woman and you as an artist?
But Sister Keela, she said about the woman going out and seeing for herself,
Hmm.
um, basically the worldly way. Because before I came into the nation, I did music before I came into the nation. I came into the nation, or I accepted my own in 2014, but I began making music in 2012. And so I was doing the worldly thing, and I can honestly say it doesn't bring you peace. It doesn't. It completely goes against your nature. Like, we have a self-accusing spirit, and it's considered like the messenger of God, right? So that's how you know right from wrong, when you have that thought like, nah, you probably shouldn't do that, or no, you know you should be doing that. But the more that you ignore it, you kill it. And so it gets to a point where that self-accusing spirit isn't there to help guide you anymore. And you just fall into the lifestyle, right? And it's not a pleasing lifestyle. It's really not. It's it's degrading.
Hmm.
It really is. It's embarrassing for me personally, um, just because of where I am now. But it was part of the journey, and I had to go through it. It was part of my own personal journey. Um, but being in the Nation of Islam under the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis, I'm sorry, under the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, given to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, it has made me into a better artist. It has made me into a better musician, because we have the knowledge. Like, the word of God is limitless, right? God is limitless. And so once you become attached to a power that is limitless, your artistry becomes unlimited. What you can do becomes unlimited. You're limited in this world because this
Mm-hmm.
is Satan's world. And so coming to the Nation of Islam is definitely broadened my horizons. It's made me into a better artist. It's made me into a better woman, you know, into a better person, into a better daughter, into a better sister. It it's helping me just to be an overall better person. And as an
Praise be to
artist, you
Allah.
have to take on the responsibility as a role model. A lot of them don't, but that comes with the territory. You are a role model. And so being in the Nation of Islam is helping me to take on that responsibility, because I am actually somebody who is trying to evolve as a human being so that I can represent.
Mm-hmm.
Praise be to Allah. That was beautiful, sister. And the same thing with you, Sister Akila. How does Islam, and then of course through the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, through the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, made you a better artist, a better sister,
Mm-hmm.
and it resonated into your music? How do those things transcend with each other?
I think it's beautiful that Sister Hecava could give the perspective of coming into the teachings, because I can give the perspective of being born in the teachings, and how the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan, the thoughts and the words and the lectures and the books that they have both put out has shaped my mind, so that I really do not, and I do not enjoy the this world, you know what I mean? And so I have always pushed the teachings through my life. When I started going to public school at 6 years old. Before that, I was at a Muslim school. But at 6 years old, I was in second grade, and I realized in that moment, like, these people really ain't trying to be right. Because I came from an environment where, when you are studying the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, is really cut and dry. This is how it's supposed to be. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. It ain't no in between. And so coming from that and then going to public school my whole life, pretty much, it showed me like, okay, I'm gonna have to utilize what I've learned and help my people. And that of course has carried on into my music, and that has shaped the way I do music, and that has shaped my lyrics and how I actually live my life. And yes, it has made me a better person, because you could be born in the nation, but that doesn't mean that you accept it for yourself. And I accepted it for myself, because for me it's light, life, and power. And that's the only thing that like Sister Hecava said, it makes you limitless. You could do so many things, and it's not true that, oh, you don't have as much fun. I'm like, I have lots of fun, because I actually have peace of mind, and it don't take that much for me to have fun. I don't have to go to clubs or nothing like that. My music, I would love for them to play my music in the club. But it's at the same time, it's like, I don't need a club to have fun. I have fun hanging with my friends, eating. Oh my gosh, I'm a foodie, so it's just so many things that you can have fun doing. Hey, it's just so many activities that you can still have these teachings and still have a really exciting, exuberant life, and it's true happiness, true success, if you are truly following what it is that is teaching. And truthfully, it's just a universal message. You don't have to be in the Nation of Islam to understand what it is that I'm saying, because what we teach is the universal language of the universe and the planet, which is accept your own, be yourself, um, want for your brother what you want for yourself, have a good diet. You know what I mean? So it's nothing strange. It might be strange to this world, but it's our nature. So that's what I had to say.
Praise be to Allah. That was beautiful. And, I wanted to definitely get your perspective on this, because sometimes being unique and different can be challenging on your circle, your friends, even your own family, because
Hmm.
sometimes you could be that clean glass next to a dirty glass, and it can make you very uncomfortable. You're not dressing a certain way, you don't speak certain dialogue. But sometimes, as we all may know, that self-accusing spirit might be there, or they may try to justify by bringing you down by saying, you know better than me, who are you to judge? But it's not judging, that's your conscience speaking out when you're striving to be upright. And all of us have our faults. I don't want anybody thinking that we walk in angels. Everybody has their faults. That's why we pray. But I want to ask you sisters that when you have those challenges, how do you, or how have the people around your circle, whether it be family, friends, receive your message or your change? And I would definitely want like to hear from Sister Hecava, because I want to get her perspective, because she came from a lost found into the nation, and Sister Akilah, you've been born into it. So those are two unique perspectives that we can get on how people treat you, especially with what you're trying to give out, a certain message that goes against the grain of today's society. So, Sister Hecava, how does that work for you, Sister?
Well, the good thing though for me is that I came into the nation, but my mother introduced me to the nation. So she came in
Wow.
2007. And then it just so happened that I have, like, my grandfather was a Muslim. My mother grew up a Muslim, but she converted to Christianity when her and my father got married. She converted to Christianity. So I grew up a Christian. Um, and so it's not necessarily like, I mean, I did live in a world, because I still made my own decisions. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come into the nation until after I graduated. So up until that time, I was still doing my thing. But I can say not necessarily like my family, because even my family, like my uncles, they're 5%ers, or well, they joined the Nation of Islam, but they were 5%ers, and so I've had it in my family, but I wasn't like with it. You know what I'm saying? But I would say at school, because 2007 I was in school, and I would say the people at school couldn't handle me. I was already like rejected. I was that rejected child because I was quiet and I was an easy target and stuff like that. But then until I started growing up and getting into myself, and I knew some things. I didn't follow Islam completely, but I knew some things. But I would get on people's nerves. Being a history class, and everybody in the class is in ROTC, and I'm coming with some stuff that I heard the minister say, and I got on the teacher's nerves. I got on, like, me and the students got arguments. Like, people didn't like it, but I can't say I necessarily believed it, but I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, it stuck with me, obviously, and it stuck with me for a reason, but I wasn't practicing it. um, because my mom was a Muslim. Just like when you're a Christian and your parent is a Christian, you say, "Yeah, I'm a Christian," but you not living the life. You just saying that because you was born in, you was raised or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, but no, people didn't necessarily like that. Um, but it really did make a difference because I was never really liked even before that. So it didn't really make a difference for me.
So could that be why so many stray away from actually what we're actually talking about, as far as the peer pressure you had in school, but the peer pressure in the music industry, where you might come in, head rap, you remember Queen Latifah and the whole conscious movement where head raps and African medallions was the thing, and then all of a sudden we got music coming from the South, stripping, and they took that off, and because they wanted to fit in, because they felt that that wasn't part of the norm or wasn't getting the attention that it deserved or they wanted. So was that the same case with you? Because you can compare the two, I'm saying, pretty much close together, to why so many females, as Sister Akilah said, sell their souls just to be part of something to go with the flow. Is that your case as well?
What you mean, like I didn't like accept it because of that?
Well,
Or
it was challenging because you said, and I was that rebellious person in high school as well, because the average person, depending on how they built,
Mhm.
saying, will conform to, what, I might as well. They see the attention they get from the boys. In other words, where you're dressing a certain way, your jeans aren't as tight, but the woman that's wearing the tight jeans, the heavy makeup, the cleavage, you name it, the whole package, she's getting the attention, not the right attention, but yet you're the, hey, you my homeboy, that kind of thing. She's just my friend. But
Right.
yet you're looking at these things, and this is what a lot of women go through, even as older women. They conform as well, where women, conform themselves. They wear things that they normally wouldn't do just to get the attention they're looking for. So with that peer pressure alone, do you feel that that comparison from a school to the industry can have a huge effect to why we're seeing such a hard transition for a lot of people, even with men, to walk on that straight path?
Um, I yeah, kind of, because as a woman, especially when you don't know naturally, like even the minister talks about it, when you get dressed and you go and you look in the mirror, you turn around and you looking, but what you looking at? You know exactly what you're looking at. You trying to see how you look because you're expecting to be seen,
Right.
right? And so it's natural for a woman to want to look and feel beautiful, I think. It's natural for a woman to want a man to be attracted to her, maybe not in like a sexual way. In this world, I think so. But in our natural feminine, obviously we would rather a man be attracted to us than a woman. Um, but I do think, yeah, kind of, because you want to be accepted. But in the Nation of Islam, we're taught that a nation is judged based upon the woman. And so where a woman is at mentally, that's how you judge a nation. But I think in this world, it's how the man is, where the man is that you judge the nation. And so the woman is almost like she's not chasing the man, but she's doing things in a sense to where it's looking like he's chasing her, but in a sense, she's really chasing him. It's like a silent chase. You know what I'm saying? Like by the undressing ourselves, by the being over sexual. You know what I'm saying? We're not physically chasing him or trying to, go and talk to him, but we're doing it intentionally. We know it's intentional, but to them, they don't think it's intentional. I don't know if that makes sense,
I
but it's not
got you.
like a physical chase. It's
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna do this because I know he looking. You know what I'm saying? Is that type of chase. It's like you're playing a game. And in this world, we want that attention. And so, yeah, falling into the peer pressure because we want the man to be attracted. And then we say, well, there's no good man. That's what they want. But that's what they want because that's what you're giving. We've been caused to believe, we've been made to believe that that's what the man wants. But the woman has been degraded. So now that's what the man wants. But it didn't necessarily start like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We did it, and then the man was attracted to it, and now we only think like we have to be this way for the man to be attracted, but that's just not the case. So we have to stick to our guns.
Yes, ma'am. And that's a beautiful comparison because you pretty much can transcend what you just said into the industry
Right.
where you have to look a certain way, and they believe that even on television. We can see it on social media to get the likes, to get the attention. Um, I call it prostitution for likes or
Right.
followers, and we see that a lot. So, Sister Keela, I want to get your spin on it because you've been born into the nation, but you have some of those who deviated because, as you said earlier, not having fun or get the attention because you have to be a certain way, and sometimes, as we can see obviously that the world can be very fair seeming, and the temptation is very strong depending on how you build, how strong you are on your studying, your prayer, and how close you are to Allah or God. I'm saying, so what were the challenges for you because you went to public school as far as the messages or the peer pressure that you dealt with, and we can compare them to the industry.
Well, my mom, she really gave me a really strong foundation, and so I was putting pressure on my peers. They didn't pressure me. I was pressuring them. I'm inviting them to the mosque. I'm telling them, don't eat pork and all this stuff. So because I was surrounded with believers who lived lives and didn't fake and weren't hypocritical and actually lived the life of Muslims in front of people and at home, and made everything fun. We went to the movie still. We went out to eat. We did so many things. I never had a void. I never felt like I was missing something because we had, parties for all the children and whatnot, who, in the mosque when I was growing up. And so I never felt like I was missing something. But most people, a lot of people who grew up in the nation, they might not have had that type of same upbringing where they might have saw hypocrisy, people one way outside the door, and then when they get in the house, they're completely different, or they're doing things that are against the restrictive laws. And so when children grow up seeing stuff like that, then yeah, it's going to be way easier for the streets to be appealing because people want to, I mean, our nature is truth. And if you're not exemplifying truth, and if you're doing something opposite of what it is that you say you believe, children only see it one way or the other. They don't understand that you have all these struggles, or that you were raised a certain way and that you're trying to unpack that as you're still navigating into the Nation of Islam. They don't see that. They just see mama drank some wine last night. and, and so that plays a part as to why some of us fall out. um but also going back to what we were saying, we are gods, and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the gods learn through experimentation. And so there's going to be times where you're like, I want to see what this is going to be like, and then you do something that is not what you should do, but it hopefully it will turn out the way Sister Hecava's did, where it brings you back to what it is that was your foundation, because you realize that what's out in the world is not fulfilling, so um I used to, when I was younger, I didn't used to understand why someone would want to choose the world. But now that I'm older, I understand that if that's a part of your journey, then that should only make you a better Muslim once you do return home. And so, as far as the industry, you know if you don't have a strong foundation, then it is going to be difficult to come into an industry and then stay the way you are. And, it's going to be difficult to come into an industry and be different while everyone is looking at you like, why are you so different? But if you have a strong foundation, then it's not going to be as difficult and they won't be able to change you. So the goal now is to get that strong foundation, because you don't want to go into the industry on a rocky foundation, because the industry is way stronger, has going to have a way stronger pull, because they've been doing this for years. You know what I mean? So, you want to have a strong foundation.
Praise be to Allah. And then in closing, sisters, um, if you can share something to inspire, to uplift, and share to any woman who watching this, whether they're trying to be successful in music, television, social media, at work, anything they're striving to do, if you can give some encouraging words on the benefits of, as we said through this whole program, of walking that straight path, um, use this platform right now to actually speak to someone, to actually share with them the importance of staying that straight path no matter where they are, according to the teachings you have, your experience, and your closing statement. Start with you, Sister Africa.
Um, you mentioned the straight path, and the straight path is usually quicker than all the detours, right? And so if you stay on the straight path, you may get there quicker. You may come across some things, you know, but the straight path is the best path. And it doesn't mean that you have to be this cookie cutter example of something. And this is something that I had to learn, because when I first came into the nation, I became conscious. I thought I had to be this certain type. I had to speak a certain type of way. I had to make music a certain type of way. My beats had to sound a certain type of way. I had to, the bars that I came up with had to be a certain type of way. But that's just not it. Um, be yourself. Accept your own and be yourself, because you are an expression of God. All of us are expressions of God. Not one of us are the same. And none of us, there will never be another person like you or like me that will ever come into existence again. And there never was one. So take that and use that as power to be the best version of yourself. And that by you being the best version of yourself, you'll be able to be the best example that you can be. And by staying the course, you will be successful. It has already been promised, and God keeps his promise. Unlike Satan or the devil, he promises you only to deceive you.
Mm,
But God keeps his promise and he fulfills his promise. And
mm,
when that promise is fulfilled, you're going to be happy that you stayed the course. It might take longer. It might take longer. But in that time, you're going to be developing. You're going to be becoming the person you have to be in order to attain what it is that you want, but to also stay the course once you attain it. Allah is making you, or God is making you into the person that you are supposed to be. So
mm,
stay the course, because if you abort it, then you have killed your chances of growing into something that can make a difference, that could change the world. And by being an artist, having these teachings are a universal message. What best way to give a universal message than to use the universal language of music to distribute the message?
Praise be to Allah. Sister
Mhm.
Kayla.
You know, I've been you're gonna feel misunderstood. I've felt definitely like, man, people think I'm a goody two shoes. People think that I'm perfect. People think that I don't make mistakes. People think that I'm this and that. And so they might not feel like they can relate to me. Maybe they feel like they won't be able to relate to my music. Maybe they feel like I think I'm better than them. And that's not true. And I had to understand that I can't think for someone else because it distracts me from staying the course. So all these opinions and what you think other people think about you, all that's doing is really distracting you from living. If you know yourself, you know you don't feel like you're better than anybody else. You know that you are growing. You know that the things that people might think about you are not true. If you know that about yourself, then I say keep going on your path, because being misunderstood is a part of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Being misunderstood is what Jesus went through, all the prophets, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Louis Farrakhan, all the great people that you love, Whitney Houston, it don't matter. Beyonce, everybody has been misunderstood, and and people make up things, and they assume things, and they say, well, she must think this and she must be this way, and that's going to happen. Embrace the fact that that's a part of being in this world with so many dysfunctional minds and so many toxic ways. Is just a part of it, but don't allow that to slow you down. I used to allow that to paralyze me and say, well, I don't want people to feel like I'm better than them, so I'm going to dim my light. And when that starts to happen, that's when you are distancing yourself from the duty that God gave you. So never dim your light because you don't want to offend other people, or you don't want to outshine other people. I'm just now coming into the knowledge of how important it is for me to shine my light and to stop dimming my light. And it's uncomfortable because this world programs you to think when you start shining that you're being vain, but that's not true. Minister Louis Farrakhan said to shine your light, basically to give glory to Allah. So I now have to reprogram my mind and understand that when I'm shining, it's not diminishing other people, it's actually encouraging other people to shine their light as well. And if it intimidates other people, that cannot be my problem. That can no longer be something that paralyzes me and say, well, I'm going to hold off until they get their life together so that they won't think I'm outshining them. So always remember that it's okay and that it's a duty to shine your light.
Praise be to Allah. It's nothing like the sisters from the MGT. That was a beautiful, beautiful closing remark. So please, I want you sisters to promote your music, how they can find your content. Um, and the floor is yours. Sister Hameka is yours.
You can find me on YouTube at Hecava Mecca. That's HeCavamecca. I actually just dropped something at 222. It's a cover to Money Long's Hours and Hours. But I also have a few music videos that are going to be dropping relatively soon. New music that is coming. You can find me on IG at Hecava. Again, that's HeCava_Mecca Mecca 22. You can find me on all streaming platforms, no matter where you are in the world, whether you're in America or whether you're in Japan, Russia.
Mhm.
I'm on all streaming platforms in all different countries. If you would like a hard copy, which as an artist, the hard copy is usually the best copy because we don't really get paid off of streams. And you would like to support your sister, it also helps in me being able to produce this new album, which is not cheap with the videos and everything. You can just reach out to me personally on IG or on Facebook, which again is Heck of a Mecca, or on YouTube, whichever is your preference. But thank you so much for your support. as an independent artist, it is greatly appreciated, and it can never be undermined the importance of the fan and the consumer, because without y'all, we're not able to really get it how we can because we don't have backing. It's all on us. And so Allah work through the hands of people. So praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Make sure you support our sister. Sister Akilah, your next sister.
Yes, I'm on all streaming platforms as well, all over the world. Uh, I'm also on, and basically that's my first EP album is called Paradigm. So if you want to go get that on Apple and Spotify and all of that. Also, I'm on all social media platforms as Akilah Nehanda, AKILAHNEHANDA. That's all the platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the same name for everything. YouTube, the same name. You'll be able to see some of my videos. I'm actually working on something right now. I filmed a music video yesterday and we are editing at the moment. And yeah, if you want to support me, because like Sister Hecava said, this is not cheap. This is some, you got to pay for the studio time. You got to pay for your music videos. You got to pay if you want people in your music videos, you got to pay for that. And if you ain't got the money, you just got to hope that they'll do it for free. And it's just a lot. So if you would like to support me, my Cash App is $Goddess Flow. Goddess is GODDESS Flow, FLOW. So thank you so much for having me on this show. I'm very grateful, brother.
Thank you, beloved. And you got a Cash App. We make sure you get paid too, Sister.
Yes, I do have a Cash App.
Let's get that out there.
It's $ Heck of a Mecca, capital H,
Right.
lowercase e, CAVA, capital M, lowercase ECCA. Thank you.
All right. Make sure you support our sisters. It's how we do it. If you want our sisters are going to definitely bring you some great content, and we can show the world that we can be independent, that you don't have to go through a record label or any other means of support, and we have your own people backing you. That's the power of this all. So support our sisters. This is Brother LeVon, ex-community reporter. May God continue to bless you. And I pray, and I sincerely pray, and this is something that's close to me, that any woman, any young sister watching this, that please, whatever you do, you don't have to demean yourself for anything, for a man, for social media or attention. Stay on the straight path, because at the end of the day, you'll be able to sleep a lot better and wake up knowing that that self-accusing spirit didn't ask you that question, why'd you do it? You know what I'm saying? Why did I do that? And then you're in regret and you're putting yourself in a bad place. So we all fell short. Everyone here made the mistakes, but when God gives you another day to make it better, start a clean slate now. Whatever's behind you, can't do nothing about it. So start that clean slate now. So that's my soapbox for now. May Allah continue to bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
That was outstanding, sisters. I definitely appreciate you.
From dust we come, from dust we return. We can't leave no stone unturned. Lessons to be learned. These beasts can't stop our birthright. They tried with guns and night rides, but we got stronger, multiplied, and we rise. Souls cry like Emmett Till. Oh, the pain is still surreal. Oh, mama's losing babies still. Oh, the fire next time for real. Ay, fire next time. Ay, losing our minds. Can't take it no more, so it's time to grind. So just fall in line. Thought he had more time, just look at his face. Casket open wide. Mama said casket open wide, open wide, open wide. Souls cry like Emmett Till. Oh, the pain is still surreal. Oh, mama's losing babies still. Oh, the fire next time for real. or a pistol, ayy. It don't matter, ayy. Black life is matter, and it's in the atmosphere, thicker than cake batter. But we haven't been treated sweet, but it's cool, we still gon' feast at the table God promised right in front of our enemies. Jesus was crucified, we in good company. Can't destroy Shabbat. The indestructible, like trying to kill God. It's improbable, very impossible, but it's biblical. These people so cynical, but I'm watching though, cause I know, cause I know, cause I know, cause I know, cause I know.
I could give you peace, bring you harmony, be your remedy. Yeah, baby, you know I kill you. And you can call on me anytime you need. I swear that I will always be right there for you. You can count on me, babe. Like 1, 2, 3. Boy, you got that vision, manifesting thoughts on the move, you never start, no. Work hard, real hard, the true meaning of a guy. Boy, you got that method, every time you're present, I feel like I'm falling more. Feeling like we elevated, on the rise, we levitating. Focus, we concentrating, building in our conversation. Baby, we shooting for the stars, we are a constellation. Wanna be your aspiration, inspiration, motivation.